Today on GC360.
Our top story, a gun bill that could allow people to carry weapons into, are you ready for this, bars and churches.
And a political weapon, Julian Bond, came to our campus to address students and activists from around Milledgeville.
And later, our sports reporters are bringing you the update and details on Greek Week, competitions that are in full swing this week. All that and more right now on GC360. Hello and welcome to GC360. I'm Taylor Weldon.
And I'm Justin Peacock. Thanks for joining us.
We have some exciting news to announce. The official Georgia College Twitter tweeted earlier this afternoon that GC Jam Fest, also known as the Homecoming Concert, has been rescheduled for April 9th. Ben Rector and Travis Porter are set to take the stage as well as other performers which have yet to be announced.
To sign or not to sign? Governor Nathan Deal will soon have to make that decision on a bill that would expand the number of places people could take guns. The bill, passed by Georgia legislature, would under certain circumstances allow guns in bars, restaurants, churches, and even airports. Gun right advocates say the bill represents a victory for the Second Amendment, but states' Police Chiefs Association, Restaurant Association, and Episcopal and Catholic churches oppose the bill. The legislation has created quite a stir on campus. Last week, students met to air their thoughts at a Times talk devoted specifically to the issue. GC360's Joshua Clay was there.
The debate about Georgia's gun bill was heated at the Times talk, and students were generally skeptical.
The New York Times this morning, there was an editorial that said that Georgia lawmakers want guns everywhere but the Capitol.
I'm afraid to know that there's even lawful people with guns, because when people get upset or when people have alcohol in them, even when I have alcohol in myself, I'm known to do things that is like unlike myself. But
if police officers run into the crowd, you would expect they're carrying a gun and they're there to prevent someone from, killing everybody else or whatnot. If everybody in the crowd pulls a gun, I don't know how you do that. That's a concern of mine.
How do you think, what do you think is most effective to reduce?
This bill. I believe they're approaching it in the right manner. As I said, it's insurance policy. If all else fails, all the non-lethal options, all the prevention and safety measures, it's the last thing we have. And without it, everything else fails and people are going to die.
So I always grew up with this idea that there's a lot of gun violence because there aren't a lot of responsible gun owners.
While many of the speakers expressed concern about guns and gun use,
guns rights advocates were represented as well.
Evan Ivey is known on campus as a gun rights supporter, but even Ivey expressed doubts about any attempt to legislate when it comes to guns.
That's the problem. Well, that's the problem with this legislation as a whole, and not just this legislation is in House Bill 60. I mean any firearms legislation. This is something that you cannot control. People will carry, and that's the thing about concealed carry. Like when we did this debate in class, I had a concealed carry holster on under this jacket, and nobody in the class knew until I showed them. The point being, anyone can carry. I'm currently unlicensed to conceal carry, so that could have been an illegal firearm, and you cannot control that.
I don't think this bill will curb any violence. I think it will just encourage and future. I just don't feel safe that being at the Atlanta airport, none of this bill was passed.
Is the answer to gun violence more accessibility to guns, or is more regulation needed? Nothing was settled at the Times talk, but opinions were aired in a civil, respectful way. This is Joshua Clay, reporting for GC360.
Gabrielle Giffords, the former Arizona congresswoman who was gravely wounded in a mass shooting in 2011, calls the Georgia gun measure the most extreme gun bill in America. Critics are appalled that the bill would allow people to bring guns into bars and churches under certain circumstances. Emil Hellerud checked out what some members of the Milledgeville community think about the issue.
Guns belong on ranges. Most people can agree on that. But Georgia's new gun bill has turned up the head on the discussion about where else a gun belongs. Bobby Brown is a member of Georgia Carry. He says House Bill 60 restores the gun rights for Georgians.
I carry a gun, why should I be restricted where I can go? It's don't jump out of its holster. It don't just randomly go around shooting people. It takes a person to make that mental note to pull the trigger.
We have to leave the shooting range to reach the other side of the story. The bill calls for bar owners to set up signs if they want to prohibit guns.
We've always ran this place without ever having to have any firearms involved. We are going to continue to run our place like that. It's a restaurant.
And 4 of 6 Milledgeville downtown bar owners who GC360 asked agree. No guns in bars. At least not late at night. 2 bar owners didn't want to comment, and John Joyner still defends the rights to carry a gun, but think it is fair that the bar owner is given a choice.
I don't think guns and alcohol are a great combination. I think that's when a lot of problems arise.
The bill gives church leaders the right to decide too. Only one church leader GC360 reached wanted to comment.
If someone were to come and had a gun on their hip, I would ask why they brought that. Because on one hand, that could make some people feel very, very safe, but on the other hand, I know that could make some people feel uncomfortable.
Pastor Blankenship isn't arguing against the right to wear arms. He just sees no reason for them in his church. Guns could be allowed on campuses too, but only for people authorized under the Board of Regents. A duly authorized official could make the same decision, but exactly who that is one of the bill's gray areas. And the Board of Regents has opposed guns on campuses. So back to where guns are welcomed. Bobby Brown thinks it is unfair if he is punished because of others' mistakes.
So for that gun owner who does want to go out and get drunk and carry a gun, that's on him. He's going to have to live with his consequences.
Because, he argues, it will still be a crime to fly into a rage and shoot someone. Reporting for GC360, this is Emil Hellerud.
Now we move from guns to smoking. Have you ever had a cloud of smoke blown straight into your face? Or if you're a smoker, have you ever bristled at the idea of having to light up in a designated smoking area? Well, say goodbye to your troubles. Smoking on campus is going to be banned at Georgia College. The ban is part of a new statewide policy. Robin Glaubman has a story.
A new smoke-free campus policy will soon hit Georgia College campuses. The policy will ban the use of all tobacco products on all college campuses in Georgia.
When I first heard about it, I was kind of upset a little because people are gonna smoke whether or not there's a ban, and it's kind of frustrating that there's no longer going to be specific locations for us to smoke, and so I'm kind of a little upset about it.
The ban includes cigarettes, cigars, smokeless tobacco, hookah, and electronic cigarettes.
Well, an e-cigarette is, once you inhale it and then you go to exhale, it's only your breath. It's your breath and water vapor. The water vapor is in your breath anyway because that's just part of human biology. I don't see the reasoning behind them. I don't even see why they're connected as the same thing. It's not a tobacco product, it's a nicotine product. It's like Nicorette gum or nicotine patches. It's the same as banning those things.
Non-smoking student Natalie Mau didn't know that e-cigarettes were part of the ban.
I think we're adults, so if you want to use dip and you want to use an e-cig or a cigarette, that's fine. I don't think cigarettes on campus are a good thing just for people who don't want to be around them, It's mindful for everyone else.
All students, faculty, staff, and administrators on any campus in the state will be required to adhere to this new regulation. Supervisors will enforce the ban for faculty members, but it's too early to tell exactly how the ban will be enforced for students.
We have until October 1st for each school to develop its own way of handling how it's going to be enforced. So it is up to each university. I do not know the exact way that we're going to go about it, but I would assume that it would have a lot to do with student affairs. maybe ticketing students, we don't really know. It will be more educational than punitive.
Over $56,000 was spent to build 11 smoking shelters on campus, like this one, to create a healthier environment for the campus. But these shelters will soon be removed, and the spaces will have no other purpose.
Yes, it was a lot of money spent to put the smoking shelters in and be used by the students and the faculty and staff. But the Board of Regents decided that, you know, it's all about health, you know, perspective and looking at the health risks associated with smoking and secondhand smoke, and the cost of that was much greater than the cost of losing the shelters that, you know, that we had already put in years ago.
31 campuses around the state will be affected by the ban, and 3 other states have passed similar bans for their schools. Georgia's policy will go into effect this October. For GC360, I'm Robin Glaubman.
Students and faculty alike came to listen to an icon of the civil rights movement at the 2014 Flag Legacy Social Justice Lecture Series event held in Russell Auditorium last Friday. Former NAACP Chairman Julian Bond was the first African American nominated to be Vice President of the United States, in addition to being a Georgia House and Senate member. GC360's Hillary Hunnings covered his speech here at Georgia College.
Seats fill quickly in Russell Auditorium as an eager audience begins to form. At 74 years old, Julian Bond is an elder statesman of the civil rights movement, but his message still rings with the passion of youth. Bond began his talk on a light note with a story about being a student of Dr. King.
Now, I'm one of the few people in the whole world who can say I was a student of Dr. King's. Dr. King only taught one time, only taught one class, only 8 people in the class. I'm one of the 8. So I'm one of 8 people in the whole universe who can say honestly, I was a student of Dr. King's.
But levity quickly turned to the serious business at hand, as Julian Bond critiqued current-day America.
Those are the days when voters chose their politicians, unlike today when self-serving gerrymandering and political manipulation allow politicians to choose their voters.
Curious students moved by Bond's inspiring words lined up for a Q&A session at the front of the stage. They took his words to heart.
Being able to attend this program tonight and with Mr. Bond was an honor because I do feel like I was in the presence of greatness. He was such a key figure in the civil rights movement that he mentioned was continued today, and I think it's just an honor to be able to hear those stories of him and also his great-grandfather.
Having helped found the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee as an undergraduate at Morehouse College, Bond talked with GC360 about how Georgia College students could respond to the recent discrimination on campus involving the social media site Yik Yak.
Well, most of all, I think you can always learn from others. You can watch what somebody did 10 years ago or 20 years ago and try, if you can, to duplicate that. That doesn't mean you copy everything the other person does, but may take as a model, John did this, Mary did this, Susie did this, Frank did this, I can do the same thing. And sometimes you'll be able to do the same thing, sometimes you can't. But you see a model that can help you decide, I'll do it this way.
Bond's advice on activism certainly motivated students. Reporting for GC360, this is Hillary Hunnings.
In the mood for some exotic food? When we come back, we'll tell you about the annual International Dinner here at Georgia College. Don't go anywhere.
In 1977, in Johannesburg, South Africa, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. By the age of 9, he was already outplaying him. The odds of this gentle lad winning the Junior World Golf Championships at the age of 14, 1 in 16 million. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the Open Championship once and the US Open Championship twice, 1 in 780 million. The odds of this professional golfer having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. Ernie Els encourages you to learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
Georgia College Greek Life united in a fun way on Saturday to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. GC360's Abby Thompson brings you the story.
The weather may have been dreary on Saturday, but that did not stop a group of Georgia College students from aiding a worthy cause. Members of Sigma Alpha Epsilon and Phi Mu fraternity collaborated to put on the first annual carnival for the kids, which helped benefit the Children's Miracle Network. Held in the Cordell Events Center at Georgia Military College, students and military families filled the gym for an afternoon of laughter and service.
We just wanted to do something for the community that gives so much to us while we're here in college. They really are really supportive, and we just wanted to give their kids something fun to do while raising money for our philanthropy, which is Children's Miracle Network. We try to do a lot for the Children's Hospital in Macon, but being able to give back to the community made us want to work that much harder to put on this event.
Families enjoyed interactive games, food, and fun that lasted the entire afternoon.
This is Clayton and this is Hugh, and they are having such a fun time at the carnival, and the girls just did, and the guys did such a great job of all their hard work, and all the activities have been great, and they are just loving every second of it, and we're just glad to be here.
This year, the Carnival for the Kids helped raise over $200 for the Children's Hospital in Macon. Although the event was moved indoors for inclement weather, that did not dampen the spirit of service to the community on the part of the students who participated. It's been a great day at the Carnival raising money for Children's Miracle Network. I'm Abby Thompson reporting for GC360.
Graduating soon? Georgia College hosts a number of events to set students up for post-grad success, from internships to paid employment. GC360's Kyle Shanahan reports.
As springtime arrived at Georgia College, some seniors took the time to visit the campus career fairs, located in Magnolia Ballroom. The Nursing and Health Sciences Expo took place on March 31st, featuring 19 different medical organizations from across Georgia and beyond. It was a good opportunity for students to network with employers and showcase their skills.
I found the career fair to be really helpful. They have some good organizations here, both local and outside of the Milledgeville area, which is good if you're getting kind of finicky about staying in Milledgeville. And I found it to be really informative and professional, and I had a good time. The rest of them were very helpful, and it's great that we have them all here to just kind of see what they're offering and see where I need to go to apply for internships and stuff.
A previous career fair was also held in Magnolia on March 5th, featuring over 40 companies. However, student experiences differed between the two.
I walked around and did not really see anyone that I really appealed to, but there's this one man from the law firm, and he caught my eye, and he started talking to me. He was like, "What major are you?" And I said, "Marketing." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "You interested in law?" I was like, "I used to a long time ago." He's like, "Okay, well, guess you don't want to do this."
More career-related events are scheduled to occur every day this week through Friday. More information can be found online at www.gcsu.edu/career. Reporting for GC360, this is Kyle Shannon.
Students come from all over the globe to attend Georgia College. The university community welcomes our international students with open arms, and every year we get a chance to sample some of their home cooking. It's the International Dinner, and GC360's Emil Hellerud reports on what it takes to put on a delicious event.
The need for food is universal. However, what we cook and how we cook it is not. The 29th International Dinner started at the same place as always, the kitchen of international students. Ju Jong Lee cooked his South Korean bulgogi.
Home is much better, I
Okay.
would say, yeah.
Okay.
I can't argue that.
Bulgogi is a Korean traditional barbecue dish with beef, green onion, and traditional sauce. It is expensive and therefore reserved for special events. The special event last Saturday called for a change of clothes. The bulgogi was then joined with dishes from around the world in the Magnolia Ballroom.
It is actually, it takes pretty long time to make it because it looks simple, like you just cut the beef, cut the onion, green onion and everything with the sauce, but you have to marinate it for usually like 5 to 6 hours.
There was more than food on display at the event. Traditional colors filled the ballroom as well. tunes from around the world were sung. And some international students proudly wore their country's traditional dress, always with a touch from home. The international dinner was a time to share cultural experiences with everyone contributing something exotic. Reporting for GC360, this is Emil Hellerud.
This just in, breaking news from the Board of Regents and Georgia College President Steve Dorman. There will be classes held on Saturday from now until the end of the semester due to the missed snow days earlier this winter. President Dorman is enforcing mandatory attendance for all classes that were missed during these days.
Justin, I know you wanted to get in a good April Fool's joke, but that's just too far. Don't worry, everyone. You will still have your Saturday. The real April Fool's joke is Justin is not wearing pants.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Up next on GC360. We'll bring you the highlights of Greek Week, which began this past Sunday. Stay tuned.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all working with United Way for a million little reasons. The kids of our communities, to ensure their academic success all the way to graduation day. You see, it takes about 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a kid becoming one or the other could be a professional athlete, or it could be you. Studies showed the earlier we get to kids, the better their chances. So become a United Way volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor, and make a difference in the life of a child, for the life of that child. Give. Advocate. Volunteer. Live united. Join your favorite NFL players. Take the pledge. Go to unitedway.org.
Welcome back to GC360. I'm Nick Landon.
And I'm Joby Peoples. This is a huge week in sports for Greeks in the annual competition known campus-wide as Greek Week.
That's right. This year's Greek Week started with flag football and Greek show on Sunday. The gentlemen of Pi Kappa Alpha and the ladies of Zeta Tau Alpha dominated the field and won the flag football championship.
Greek god and goddess, Greek sing, and step were all a part of Sunday's events at Greek show. In a pageant-style contest, contestants answered where Alpha Omicron Pi took the crown for Greek goddess and Theta Chi for god.
Greek Sing involved paired fraternities and sororities showcasing their song and dance abilities to the judges. The winning pair was Delta Zeta and Delta Sigma Phi. The step competition featured a 10-minute themed routine from each sorority.
Announcements for the step winners as well as overall placements for Greek Week will be made Friday afternoon at the awards ceremony.
And Tuesday's basketball event, three-time reigning champions Pi Kappa Alpha and Alpha Delta Pi took home the title as basketball champions.
The gentlemen of Pi Kappa Alpha also took home the gold in the dodgeball event along with the ladies of Delta Zeta.
And for something new, a surprise bowling match was sprung on the Greeks, but Pi Kappa Phi and Alpha Theta Pi showed no fear and took home the gold.
When we come back, Jerry will bring us this week's entertainment and news and talk about the Georgia College Theater's Department show that bears all.
Even though spring break has come and gone, our team was able to capture some vacation highlights to share with our viewers. Some students kicked off their spring break with a St. Patrick's Day celebration in Savannah. Across the country, another team member captured video of mountainscapes and prairie dogs in Boulder, Colorado, while others hit up the beach to soak up the sun in the Caribbean. We enjoyed the time to relax and recharge, but are now ready to finish off the semester strong and bring you all the latest entertainment happening around Georgia College. The annual two-day music festival called Sounds of the South is kicking off in downtown Milledgeville this weekend. A band party on Thursday at Buffington's is starting the weekend off with a bang. A band of Georgia College students who call themselves Kiva will be jamming out. 22 bands from all over the state are coming for the event this weekend, including Electric Suns, Crazy Far, The Norm, Touchy Touchy, Fall in Line, and Looney Goons. The profit from these events are supporting the Central State Local Redevelopment Authority. Wristbands are being sold on campus throughout the week. They will also be offered at the front entrance downtown during the event. The Sum of Me, a one-act play written by Catherine Rush and directed by senior Sarah Prochaska, premiered last Friday and Saturday in the Max Noah Recital Hall. The play revolves around three siblings who join together to bury their mother as they question their own significance in their eyes of each other. Our reporter Betsy Lamb has the story.
The Sum of Me is an emotional one-act play written by Catherine Rush and directed by Sarah Prochaska. I was able to attend a dress rehearsal last Thursday night and speak with the show's director and one of the actresses to get a better grasp of the context and characters of the show. What is the one thing you're most excited about audiences, taking away, seeing in this play?
The most exciting thing I think is the relationship between our actors. We didn't touch the script for the first 2 weeks. We played improv games and went out to dinner to get to know each other because you can't fake relationships. You can't fake liking each other, and you can't fake the awkward between people. It has to be very real.
You have dirt?
There wasn't much.
I know, I can see that. That's why I asked about dirt.
A husband is only a glorified sperm donor anyway.
She said that?
Favorite part would be probably one of the first days that we got into space. I really like it when all of the tech elements start happening and the props and the costumes, when it goes from just something that we're kind of working towards and starts being a reality. I think that's always my favorite part.
Audiences were moved by the emotional performances of the play and left with a better understanding of the complexities of human life.
Everywhere on my body.
That's it for entertainment news this week. Back to you, Taylor and Justin.
Thank you, Jerry. Speaking of Travis Porter, Taylor, students around Georgia College are actually signing a petition that's going around to try to not allow Travis Porter to come here and perform next Wednesday.
I've heard about that. And see, I feel like students are listening to, not all, but most students, let's be honest, are listening to these types of songs anyway, if not songs that are worse. So I just don't see what the big deal is for him to come and have one concert.
I don't see the problem because, at least now we're actually having that homecoming concert.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At least they're following through with it, and
a lot of people like me, it's actually the last one, so I'd like to go out with a big old bang, if you catch my drift.
Right.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's all the time we have this week on GC360. I'm Justin Peacock.
And I'm Taylor Weldon. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.